Hello, welcome to another Soulprint Mini. My name is Cindy. Thank you so very, very much for being here. Um, you guys are just amazing. You send in really good questions for the pendulum. You send in good requests for mini readings. The support of your this channel is amazing, and I thank you very, very much for that. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. We would love to have you as part of the Soulprint community. Just quickly, I am scheduling readings the week of the 13th of November, which is like literally next week. So if you are interested in a private reading, send a quick note to soulprint888@gmail.com and I will give you the information you need. Somebody has asked me to just sort of talk about some of the crystals that I have going on beside me. So I'm just going to do that really, really quick. Here I have three sizes. Whoopsie, let me see, crystal balls. Okay. I don't tend to use crystal balls like to look into them, but they are a source of focus. Mostly I just really like the energy of them. This one is particularly special to me. The largest one, it came to me via a cousin of mine. And so, you know, they're just all lovely to me. This, this little thing here, I call it my amethyst bullet. It is, it's heavy. As you can see, it's smoothed on this side and shaped. If I can do this, the rest of it is actually raw. And it is a lovely, lovely piece. I always tend to keep it, it's always somewhere around, but I especially like it around when I'm doing readings. I have a little amber egg here. I have other amethyst. I have smoky quartz. I have selenite. I keep this actually fairly simple and basic. Around this room, there are lots of other crystals doing lots of other things. This one, for those of you who worry about me not being protected, this incredible piece of smoky quartz actually sits on my desk. It just sits right in that corner over there. And so it's very busy keeping me protected and, dealing with any lower vibration or negative energies that are flying around. So, that's a quick tour. All right. So, my goodness. All right. So, Trump was on the stand. He was belligerent. He was rambling. He was all of those things. This is the thing though that we have to try to keep in perspective. For 50 or so, 60% of the country, we're looking at that and going, oh my God, could he get any more deranged? Does this guy not know how to behave on a stand? Does he not understand that you're not supposed to run around attacking judges, particularly when you're the defendant? For the rest of the country, who just think, the sun rises and sets on Trump, the message they got was, you can be angry. You don't need to respect the rule of law. You don't need to respect the court system. Hell, you don't need to respect anybody. You can just say and do whatever you want. And frankly, as long as you think it's fine, then damn it all, anyways, it should be fine. And I'm going to get right in your face and I'm going to let you know that it should be fine. So there is sort of that divide. That's what's going on within the United States, is that it's like literally watching the same thing and getting two very like divergent um, impressions or opinions of what happened. That's part of the reason that as of right now, Trump continues to stay strong. We have talked about this. I really think that by the spring, you're going to see some significant differences in how he is polling and in people's views about him. Frankly, overall, just how he is doing and conducting himself. But between now and then, that's a chunk of time, right? And we want to be mindful that we kind of try very hard to not get sucked in to in panic mode, um, as this really sort of volatile and negative energy, I'm sorry, but it continues to ramp up. And now you have this Mike Johnson, who is now Speaker of the House, and he's going to have his own problems because, like every day it seems, there is another release of another crazy thing he said or something that he believes. And, in some of it, there's just no response. Some of it, I guess he's trying to backpedal a little bit. But some of this stuff you can't soften. He is adamant about, no abortions. He is apparently adamant that he doesn't believe in evolution. There are things that, I don't know how you spin them into something less um, concerning. So that's sort of where we're at right now. So um, Mike Johnson has been in his job for like what, about a week or so. I want to take another quick look at him and just see how the House itself is going to function as it goes forward. Because apparently, they sent a budget, I guess, to the Senate that basically strips the IRS of money and directs it to Israel. I don't expect that that's going to pass the Senate. If by some crazy thing it does, Biden's going to veto it. I'm pretty sure, because it doesn't have any support for Ukraine in there. And of course, they are not supporting Ukraine, the Republicans, because Trump likes Putin and Putin doesn't want the Ukraine supported. So I want to take a quick look and just see how the House is going to function in the coming months. Now, of course, I'm not exactly sure. Hold on, I dropped the card. I'm not exactly sure the timing of stuff, but Americans are coming up on Thanksgiving. My calendar tells me it is on the 23rd of November, which I guess is a couple of weeks from now, a couple of weeks and a bit. And that tends to signify sort of the holiday season. And I'm not sure how active, if you will, the Congress is during that period of time. But let's take a look at the House under the rule of Mike Johnson, shall we? Sorry, that was a very, very long introduction, but here we go. All right. House under Mike Johnson, House under Mike Johnson, House under Mike Johnson. So we're starting off with the Nine of Swords. Okay, so what we're talking about here is there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of worry. But what's interesting is energetically, that anxiety and worry is actually on both sides of the divide, if you will. I mean, Democrats are just horrified. But there are a lot of Republicans that are actually really kind of concerned because even though 100% of the House Republicans voted for him, that wasn't necessarily because they supported him and his beliefs and his philosophies. It was because they needed to stop looking like absolute clowns and get a speaker. I saw something that was really interesting. This was right around the time that he was elected. And it was somebody who said that when they were trying to find somebody to put up as speaker, to offer as speaker, they were trying to find people who didn't have more than 4 enemies or distractors in the House. And apparently it was Mike Johnson and one other guy. So it goes to show you that this is not an overwhelming support of him. This was trying not to look stupid anymore. And so there are Republicans who also have significant concerns and worry about kind of the message that's going to get sent out under his watch. He, on the other hand, he thinks this is just a really amazing opportunity, probably that was handed to him by the divine hand of God. Um, and he really, there's a part of him that is really, really trying to cement that role of his. He really thinks he is up for the job, and he is looking at how to really, sort of dig himself in and solidify his role as speaker. But what's going to happen is people are going to realize, even him perhaps, that he doesn't have the experience. He doesn't have the know-how. He doesn't have the political savvy in order to actually be successful. So that's an issue. But for him, this is about, um, ensuring that he does things that he perceives are to his best and highest political advantage. And what does that look like? That looks like staying on Trump's good side. King of Pentacles, the greedy king. This is my standard card for Trump. So what you have are people who, or a person plus a house, who are more interested in um, not pissing off, frankly, Trump, staying on his good side, making sure that the things that he wants, to whatever degree, are accomplished. So, pause for a moment and think about what I said at the beginning of this video. This behavior from the house is going to continue through, I guess, this last bit of fall into the winter months. Once spring rolls around in March, that is where you're going to start seeing a real shift of opinions about Trump, of attitudes, and that is where you're going to start to actually see um, his poll numbers dropping. And when that happens, you're going to see Republicans, not all of them, some of them, starting to pull back because they will feel that it is safe for them to pull back because he is not holding the support that he is now. As long as he is sitting in that, 45 to 50% approval rating range, they're not going to back away from him. And so it's just important that we remember that and not get really wound up. Interestingly, I saw um, on MSNBC a pollster, right? Somebody who actually analyzes the polls. And he made a really, really good point. He said, but the thing is, Trump is always in that 45 to 50% range. So what that's telling me is the people who like Trump, the people who voted for Trump, are exactly the same people who are going to continue to vote for Trump. It does not mean that his numbers are actually increasing. It means that he has solidified, if you will, the voters that are behind him. So remember that, because the voters that are behind him, they've already voted for him in a whole bunch of elections, and it really hasn't gotten them anywhere, if you will, because basically the Republicans keep losing election after election. As more things come to light, not only about um, Mike Johnson and his belief structures, but also as things continue to unfold re Trump and these court cases that are coming up. And right now, everybody's attention is on this New York civil case, as it should be. But there are other cases that are not getting the attention. I mentioned them in yesterday's video. Um, there is a case with regards to some sort of communications. That's not going to go well for him. There's still the E. Jean Carroll. There are other cases that are going to continue to pile up against him. And honestly, he's not going to be able to handle all of that negative exposure all that well. So where you're at right now is, as far as the House Republicans, the Nine of Pentacles, they feel like they are in the most secure position that they can be in, kind of given the circumstances. And very definitely, it is about doing what Trump wants. And anybody who isn't paying really close attention perhaps has missed the connection between Trump sending out a message on his lies social saying, do not vote for somebody, and then all of a sudden nobody votes for him. He is still very much controlling the Republican Party. So for them, they feel like they are doing his bidding, and therefore that secures them. The reality, though, is this. We are coming up to, I guess, this, what is it, the 17th? So let me see. Today's the 8th. You're seeing this on the 8th. So the 17th is what? 9 days away? Yeah, 9 days away. They have to get the budget through. What you're going to see is, once again, that there has to be a compromise. And when that happens, no matter how it's worked out, it's going to show that he has a very romanticized and frankly naive view of the speakership and what he can do and accomplish in it. So the overriding question has always been, how much damage is he going to actually do? And the answer is, despite the fact that he's going to plod along and try to keep getting things accomplished, the reality is he's not going to do well. Four of Swords here. He's not going to do well. You know, they are now talking about trying to move things around so one person can't bounce somebody out of a job. But overall, just like the speaker before him, he is going to antagonize a certain block of Republicans in the House, because when it gets right down to it, he is not going to be able to push through the kind of extreme agenda that he wants, and that, frankly, the hardliners want. Okay, that's what I know about Mike Johnson, and that's what I know about the Speaker of the House and the Republican Party as of right now. Thank you very, very much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Don't forget to send in your questions for Pendulum Friday. Bye for now.